What's going on, everyone? Today, I've got Kai Ross all the way from England to tell his story inside of Fit Nerd Academy. And I got to say, Kai, you were one of the first people that did the Trooper transmission workout videos. And so it's no surprise to me to see you absolutely crushing the program. And so I just wanted to have you on to talk about some of the things that has helped you find success, some of the mindsets that you've had and the challenges maybe that you were facing when you got started. But first off, I guess give everyone a little bit of background on you and where you were with your health and fitness journey and your nutrition 6 months ago.
um, so pretty much to start off with, I've always wanted to bulk up as a basic, and I've always found troubles with the such, and I always had the same old excuse everyone uses that metabolism's too quick. Whatever I eat, I just burn off, and I thought that was the case. I wasn't really committing to it. Voice break. I'd just go to the route of having a protein shake a day and having my normal meals, but the meals were just standard stuff like a few sandwiches and whatever mother made for tea. But it was always a case of I never really applied myself to it. Gym wise, I just do this exact same stuff day in, day out. That's my max weight would be 12 kilogram dumbbells. I'd assume at one point I'd slowly get to a point where they'd be like a tedious weight to me. They'd be so light that I could just progress up, but it never got to that stage. It just got to a point where I was in like a whirlpool, like a loophole. I was just constantly going over the same stuff over and over and over, which is why I needed some help to actually prompt myself forward. But ever since I've started with yourself, all I've just been getting is just positive feedback. I've got everyone coming up to me saying, "You've blown up. You're massive. You're different." Like it's just I don't know. But
Yeah.
before it was just I think I just needed that prod.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were someone who just jumped in and started following the process right away. What was probably the easiest fix that you feel like you made where it was like, wow, like why wasn't I doing that? And then what were some of the other things where it took, a couple of weeks for you to get the swing of things?
Um, I think it was. I think at the time it was purely just excuses, just telling myself I didn't have time for this or I couldn't do this, and it got to a point where I convinced myself that I haven't got much else to do. Um, because I gave up with a certain career that I was pursuing, and it just bored me. And it got to a point where I am just working and going home and working and going home, and I needed that something else. And then once I realised that's what I wanted, I really just dug in with it. Um, I feel like the way I clicked with it was purely um, that what you've given is just completely something different, like a Star Wars themed exercise. I've never really seen anyone do a theme around an exercise, like I don't know, a Lord of the Rings exercise, or I don't know, Walking Dead. I don't know. There's never been a theme. It was just something different, and I think the fact that it was something different, I was like excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think you're a great example of that where I remember our initial conversation. You're like, I want to cosplay as Anakin and fill out my cosplay. Do you feel like now you're at at a place where you can fill it out more? And obviously we're going to keep working
Oh
together.
yeah,
Where do you feel like you're
certainly.
at there?
I remember when I first put it on, and it was, I believe I went for, because everyone was saying 6 foot tall, you probably want to go for an extra large. And I went, yeah, all right, then I'll go for an extra large. Fitted quite well, but it was very loose, very baggy. I just couldn't fill it out. The arms were just like wizard sleeves, just really like, it just felt more like a weight and a burden to actually carry. I fitted it quite well, but obviously it got to a point where I knew I could fill it out properly. So this is like filled out on me quite quick. I remember the first picture I took, and it were like just box standard, just on, but nice. Like actually starting to get quite snug. I haven't jumped into my cosplay as of yet because, to be fair, when I first got it, it just stunk of fish. I don't know if it was where I got it from or whoever had it last. It
Yeah.
reeked. um, But I am wanting to get back into it. But obviously, growing the hair back out so I can finally fit it properly.
Yeah.
But I want to like surprise myself. So I'm going to be like, I remember what it felt like when I first wore it. And then later on down the line, when I wear it on again, I might
Yeah.
have to get another one, a size up.
Yeah. And I mean, you'll definitely feel or notice some huge differences. You're already seeing that in the trooper shirt that you got sent. But what have you noticed? It's been 13 weeks, and we can go over the numbers. You've progressed strength wise. I think you hit 20 pounds heavier than when we started on June 5th, and today's September 5th. So that's really cool. What are some other changes that you've noticed? Or what are some numericals that have been really exciting for you?
I think the most outstanding one has to be confidence. I've always been a fairly confident lad, quite neutral with everything. Like it's usually like I don't know what's the way. Like nothing ever really phases me. Like I just go head straight into everything. But nah, especially when like I don't know, I feel like my posture's a lot better. I feel like the way I walk's a lot more confident, like just striding around. Um, I think more so when you've got people constantly complimenting you, saying you're different, you're getting bigger, and everyone's like, "Oh, last time I see you, you were so and so." I think it just propels you to like, and it's like constant. It's sort of like an ego boost. And I'm 100% way more fucking, pardon me, way more confident now. Like I said, I just march around everywhere. Confidence is up there. Obviously, I've had to buy more uniform for work. Well, get more in, buy more clothes, just filling everything out.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you started, you were 167 pounds. I forget what that is
Yeah.
in kg, but to jump 20 pounds in that time, that's amazing progress, and really just a testament to you following the process, getting more food in and the right food and fueling at the right times. And then from a strength side, what's been some of the improvements that you've seen that you've been excited about?
Oh, like I said, when I first started, I couldn't. I always went with my friend, and he's always been the strongest of the group, and he's always like held it over you. But like when we used to do bench press and all that stuff, he'd put like 20 plates on either side, and then I wouldn't even struggle to attempt it. Like the idea of getting it off the rack was just impossible. And I was always having the lightest weights or the smallest plates, and I'd always need spotting, even on like, well, it's not ridiculous, even on like stuff that you wouldn't consider you would need spotting, I would need someone there. Um, and then I think obviously because I'm eating and I'm building. The I was really surprised with how quick your muscle not grows or how much strength you get. Um, to say where I am now from where I started, I wasn't expecting to be where I am. I thought where I'd be would be a lot further down the line, and I don't. Well, it's just you got to constantly give yourself a pat on the back when you've got stats like that in front of you because it's just I don't know. Someone's got to be proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey man, I'm proud of you. I know the people in the community are proud of you. What's something you would tell someone who's either struggling to put on weight or they're trying to do it on their own? And what would be like your top three points of just advice where it's like, hey, mate, here's the 1, 2, 3 things that you need to do to get stronger, put on size from your perspective?
So personally, I know it's different for different people, and with me, it was kind of just go at it. Make sure you get your full sleep in. If you're changing your times, if you go say one night you go later, you might wake up later. Um, I needed to when I'm having my meals, I always have to have a certain spacing in between. So I'll have my breakfast, and then roughly about 2 hours later, I'll go right. That's a good time for me to have another meal. If I have anything an hour earlier or an hour later, it just wouldn't sell right with me. So I'd have to have breakfast 2 hours later, a snack in between, or another meal in between. 2 hours later, dinner. 2 hours later, but I would always have something light in between. So I'd have one main meal, snack, another main one, snack, another main one, and then a snack. And then probably now, because I needed another shunt because I was burning quite quick, I do have another main meal later on. So I do have four main meals and just pushing whatever snacks I can in between. Snack wise, it's not like rubbish such as sweets, crisps, or um, like you say, peanut butter, avocado, all in. try and like overboard with that. Bagel, bagel, peanut butter, and banana. That's been my like savior and my go-to snack. Porridge. Um, but I've never understood the route because I've watched videos of people bulking and they always get some big massive meal or some fancy like season all that stuff. Just go simple. Um, and when you go simple, if you get bored of it, you can just add something later on. But all my meals have all just been not very appetizing, not very nice to look at, but they do the trick.
Yeah. And so sleep, it sounds like for you spacing out your meals and getting that dialed in. Is there one more that you'd say was kind of a key for you?
Um, there's been quite a few times where I'll be like, I really can't find the energy to eat, but you've always got to try and that's sort of like another one of them demons where it's pulling you down and saying you don't want to do it, just take it easy, just go to bed. Um, don't miss a meal. Once you miss a meal, once you miss one, you'll miss another one. You'll miss another one. You'll get lazy and you get repetitive. Um, just make sure you don't miss. I know it's very like a very simple one, but I've kept everything simple or tried to keep everything simple for myself. But just don't miss a meal.
Yeah. It sounds simple, but it's honestly powerful because you're totally right. Where it's easy to slide once you've slipped, and it's easy to
Yeah,
tell yourself, "Oh, I missed a meal." It's just one day, right? And then all of a sudden, Friday becomes the weekend. Then all of a sudden, the weekend becomes a week, and then all of a sudden, you're like, "Wow, I've missed an entire month." And it all started with me letting myself off the hook. And there's a balance between failing and missing, and then
yeah.
yourself excuses. So I really like that you added that. Dude, just got to say, it's been so fun working with you. I can't wait to see where you continue to progress and just super proud of you, man, and all the work that you've put in.
I love this, man. It's so fun. It's been like I keep trying to hold back. I keep trying to swear like, oh, everything this, but I'm really enjoying myself. This is I don't know. I thought it'd just be one of them where I just have it by the side and I'll be like, oh, I'll just after the work I'll go to the gym. But it's something I'm looking forward to every single day. Great community, great people, great laugh, great friends such as yourself.
Yeah.
It's a laugh.
Yeah. The meme Mondays definitely make it fun too when we're
Oh
dropping
yeah, no.
funny,
You
funny.
see some stuff that you just wouldn't expect to see. I don't. It's just you see some creative stuff.
Yeah, totally. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for the time. And we'll continue following along with your journey, man. Keep progressing. And here is his chart showing his weight going up. And you can see it initially spikes up and then comes back down. And so what we were trying to get is essentially his maintenance calories and then find a slight surplus so that we could progress gradually, aiming for about a pound a week for him based on his training level and him being a little bit more of a beginner, which is why he was able to put on so much weight in such a short amount of time. He had a fast metabolism, so we were really able to push calories. And now you can see here in photos, this is him after week 1 photos. This is him 12 weeks later. So he's added 20 pounds to his frame, but he's not getting super fat in the process. Is it all 20 pounds of muscle? Absolutely not. But a significant amount of the weight that he's putting on is muscle. And that's a big thing when we're in a lean gaining phase is we want to make sure we put on as much muscle as possible. You can see in the top left, we got June 12th, and then in the top left again, September 3rd. So these are real photos.